Want to speak about it? Let's speak. We're going to spread this encouragement from the church to the street. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. And they talk about nothing but the unseen and unspoken issues while providing encouragement and love and understanding. She talks about issues that people in high places and influences are afraid to discuss publicly. Stay tuned. It's about to get real live. And you're tuned in to the Lekeisha Mosley Show.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Lekeisha Mosley on the Lekeisha Mosley Show. I have an amazing special guest, and we're going to have an amazing conversation because you know what I do. Talk about things that are not popular with the bunch of the crowds who are following us, you know, because honestly, they don't know how to base it, know how to be open and transparent. But I'm all about being transparent, being that advocate of change. Sometimes we just have to change one person to make things happen. So I'm so excited about this special guest. His name is amazing Pastor Cornell. He's going to talk to us about his platform and talk to us about some of his recreations within this path moving forward. Dr. Pastor, would you let us know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hey, Lekeisha, first of all, thank you for having me. I am not it was really blowing my mind. I said, so somebody wants to interview me. So I'm past my 15 minutes of fame already. But I also want to thank Jerry, you know, great guy. Just wanted to say thank you. I am from Columbus, Ohio. Was born and raised here. I started my bachelor's at the age of 35 in theology. And I realized after 3.5 years, I really didn't want to study anymore about God's word. So they finished that up because Lord knows it was time to graduate. But then I went into my master's in human services and community development and got my doctorate in human behavior, advanced general studies in human behavior. So I've been here, got 4 kids. We're a blended family. We're married. I'm a pastor, been a pastor for 4 years, and I've been sober for 3. So I just, I thank God for that.
That is so amazing. Definitely. We've all had changes in our path, and I love how you're open about sharing your story. You know, a lot of us aren't open because we don't know how to tell it. Sometimes we've been broken. Sometimes we have been robbed and humiliated, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm famous for telling people I pastor church hurt. You know, some people would say, well, shoot, that's the reason why he got into church was because he was an alcoholic or what have you. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I enjoyed my sin, Lekeisha. I had a ball. I had a great time. I dropped stacks in the club all over D.C. There are people who still talk about the legendary parties that before I was Dr. Cornell Lewis, I was just Nell. And so we had a great time. I don't want that to be misconstrued, okay? But when I got to the point where I knew I was being called to build something, you know, I liken it to when David asked God, hey, can I build your temple? And God said, no, because all you know is destruction. And so when I was asked to build something, I knew when God asked me, it was time for me to kind of lock in and do what I needed to do. And I knew I was going to have some real serious conversations with that. So when we're broken, that's the time when we end up getting put back together. But God knows it ain't the same way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be a new creature. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Listen, it totally makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense to my studio audience. Absolutely. Because a lot of times you're afraid to do something different. It's like, hey, you want me to what? You want me to create something, right? Different. It's hard to do that all the time, right? And sometimes life makes you do that, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's crazy. I know when God called me to pastor, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, man, come on, man. I mean, now you find somebody else for that. I was like, I'll help train them. I don't know nothing about it, but I help train them, but not me. And then when he finally, God will run you down after a while. So my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, ran me down. I didn't know he was a track star, but he ran me down. And I said, okay, I got 2 questions. I said, can I wear what I want? He said, yeah. I said, do I have to be in there all day? He said, no. I said, I'll do it. So church is an hour, and I'm usually in my hoodie, or what have you, because, I think I kind of kick religion out of church. Religion bothers me. It really does, because there's too many things that people say we have to do. And, when I, in my belief and in my understanding, Lekeisha, God is freedom. I think Paul said it. If I came here to be a rule keeper, then Christ died unnecessarily. If that's all I came here to be was a rule keeper. So I'm about, I'm about busting the rules a little taste, and, not a lot of people like that.
Well,
does that make sense? It's something.
Absolutely. Listen, It makes sense, because a lot of times we need to understand the reason why Jesus came. Jesus came to do something different. Jesus came to shake religion. Jesus came to say, hey, no, that is not how my God is. My God is faithful. My God is just. My God is love. My God is precious. My God is slow to speak, easy to love and enjoy each other. My God is long suffering. Listen, it's all of those beatitudes, all of those plaques of the Lord, all of those characteristics of the Lord that we need to remember while we are who we are, right? And it's so amazing how sometimes it just takes one. It just takes one to be courageous, to do something different, to learn something different. Yes, you may have to do something. You have to do something, right? But it's a journey. That's a blessed journey.
Right. Yeah, I spend a lot of time dealing with people who are coming from other places. I know who I am. Some people, they look at me and say, well, okay, why do you have these people? Why do you have to? First of all, I don't tell who to come here. I tell them they need the Lord, right? But they decide where they're going to go. I don't mind where they go. The one thing I tell people when they get here, it's not my job to keep you here, not in this ministry. The way I read the Bible, and I don't know if your Bible says the same thing, but it says that you are coming to, that I'm supposed to equip you to go. So that's the reason for the name of our church, Expanding Visions. The Lord told me that there are going to be people coming in your door who are going to say, I have a vision. He said, I want you to support them financially, spiritually, and mentally. So that's how we kind of have come around to doing all of the things that we've done. Like we started a trucking company. We have started our nonprofit, doing career development, grocery stores, things of this nature, right? And these are the types of things that I've been told to do. I'm praying, and I'm praying that these people don't find out that I don't know what I'm doing.
But isn't that great? Isn't that Holy Ghost?
It's
Holy Ghost's job to structure us and have all the plans in place. A lot of times we try to be Holy Ghost. We try to do his job.
Right.
Holy Ghost is like, wait, what's going on? Okay, who's going to be in this driver's seat, right? You or me.
Right. What you going to do here?
Exactly. Isn't he so patient, so kind, and just let us learn, sometimes bump our head. It's okay. He's there. I always tell my platform, he has the alcohol, the witch hazel to, help us heal from our scrapes and bruises, because he knows we'll be back. He knows we're going to need more information. Listen, he's not leaving us nor forsake us. That's what my word says.
That's the truth.
Right?
That's the truth.
That's what it is.
I mean, that's what it should be.
Absolutely. So I love how your platform was created. You said not only you're supporting your members, you're supporting those who may stay, may go. You're just supporting. And I love how you have your nonprofit. I love how you have your business. I love how You're creating with your craft. You're beginning to mentor others. You have your trucking company. Listen, you have everything moving for
God's
you.
will.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing to me because I never owned anything in my life. And coming from where I'm from, to coin a phrase from the great theologian Anthony Hamilton, coming from where I'm from, people don't own stuff. You know, I was never taught to own anything. I was taught to be a worker. And that is what I did. That's what I did. I worked and I worked and I worked. And then I realized that my people, Black people and people in general that I dealt with were not free. They just were not free. They were going to work like I was every day. And when does the freedom come? You know, does it come in Social Security? Does it come when you retire? Well, I'm retired now. And, you know, the only freedom that I have right now is the freedom that God has given me to be able to use the rest of my life for what he wants me to use it for. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's legacy building.
That's it. Listen,
you already know what to do, right? So isn't that a new outlook on life? You know, that's the reason why we can't stay bound when it comes to quote unquote traditional religion, because it's a structure building. So it is a platform. It's a structure. It is a set pace, but you have to understand you're kind of bound. So you're in a position of being stuck. You're not supposed to leave. You're not supposed to grow. You're not supposed to get more information. It's like, what do you mean you can, like you said, what do you mean you can do something different? What you mean you want to own? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, you go against the grain when you're actually, wait a minute, what are you doing? And I have been told so many times, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You're supposed to keep those people there. You're supposed to make sure the money comes in. And I say, you know what? I said, if God can't do it, then I don't know who else can, but I'm not here to try to do what has already been done. It's gone. It's out the window. I don't know who people think that the God is, but my God is the type that says, look, I changeth not, but that doesn't mean that the decorum changeth not. That does not mean that things don't change. That means that I don't change, but those things must change. We can't continue to have things the same way. And so it's not about, forgive me, but it's not about simply changing just because for change's sake. It's about changing because we are in a different world. We are not in the same world my grandparents grew up in or my mother grew up in. We're not in that same world. And if we come at it with the same thing that we've always done, then I promise you, we will be in the same place we've always been.
Wow. That's a word right there. Listen, did you catch his studio audience? Like, Pastor is right now teaching you just how you can continue to build, how you can continue to nurture, how you can continue to open up those things that's within your heart. I tell you about the gifts and talents that we have. Listen, God puts it in us, and God uses our mentors to be educated enough to teach the flock how to build, how to create, how to be able to manifest everything that you have for yourself. A lot of times, some people need to start from square one.
Yes. And that right there is a hard thing for them. I love bringing people in on square one. I really do. Because they're sitting there and they're going, what do I do now? What is this guy going to do with me? And the joy that I have is when the light bulb goes off and they realize they've been set up, not just by me, but by God, being an agent of my Lord and Savior, to be able to say, you know what? I know what you've been through. I was a paramedic for 2 decades here in the city, and I think I've seen just about all of it. But it really comes down to the fact that, can you look at me with non-judgmental eyes? And that has been that's been a gift that God gave me. It's not to judge people when they're going through something, but to say, okay, well, no, let's sit down and talk about it. I had a friend a couple of years ago who told me that he didn't want to, I told him I put it like this. I said, I'm breaking up with you, man. And he was like, why? I said, because every time we come together, I do all the talking. You don't tell me anything about yourself. And he said, well, the reason why I don't do that is because I've had some gay tendencies. And I said, oh, okay. And it blew his mind that I wasn't like, what? Oh my God, get away from me. Look, man, I ain't asked you about all that. I'm asking why, so it can't be this is not a monologue. This is supposed to be a dialogue. Now, I've known you all this time, but you never said anything to me, and so our relationship flourished from then on. It really did, because he understood I wasn't getting ready to judge you. I ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in, Lekeisha. I'm trying to get there myself. And I'm hoping wonderful Christians like you will kind of hold the gate up and let Pastor roll up under when I get there, because I probably ain't going through the front door. They're going to be like, who hold that gate up? And I'm going to be like, Lekeisha, roll up under that bad boy. But once I'm in, I'm in.
I know that's right. Listen, Pastor, listen, Dr. Cornell, you have to understand, we have to stand together. We have to understand, that we can't do this by ourselves. We have to do a little bit help. We have to have help. Sometimes you need someone to hold that up, for you to get on in. So it's okay. It's like, it's all good. So I understand that. I'm not, that's when I began to understand to not build with the wrong tribe, because not so much is that tribe not being, attending to be blessed and not intending to be a help, but actually they're a hindrance, because they are lack with evaluation and information for me to grasp on to be led in the future, right? So you are
right. I get it 100%. I mean, I done built with the wrong tribes, and there's been holes in the roof when it rained. I thought that was what you were supposed to do, and it's like, oh, I didn't, and you build with people. And listen, I'm going to tell you something, right? I'm not building with you just because you're Black. Okay. I'm not building with you just because you're part of my, we're non-denominational church, part of my denomination. I'm not going to build with you just because you're this, you're that. I'm going to build with you because you came with expertise that we need to handle this situation. Don't come over here pulling any cards that you got from religion and all. You can't pull a card on me. All I want to know is, can you help us? And if you cannot, I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm wasting energy. We burn in daylight when you could be somewhere else handling your business, I hope that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I can't feel, that way, because I tell people all the time, I say religious people are very strong. And
yes,
you have a strength that I am not willing to battle. So because of that, I have to walk away, because I'm not going to win that fight, because you guys have a large platform of people that are not leaving. And it's okay. I'm just taking care of myself first. Right. And anybody want to come aboard, I'm there for you. But at the same time, I cannot do religion anymore, because it's not valuable for myself and my family. Definitely.
Right. And your family, I mean, the young people these days, I have about 5 or 6 22 to 25-year-old males in my church. And, they come in here to my office and they'll sit down and they just start talking. And I ask them, why you like coming here? Why you like coming to the church? I want to know. I ask people questions. Y'all get mad if you want to, but I ask questions, and I ask them, why y'all like coming here? They said, because you always tell us the truth. And how can a 22-year-old know it's the truth? It's the same way that a government treasury person looks at, they don't teach them how to find counterfeits. They teach them what the real thing is. So when they see a counterfeit, they know it. So that's what they do. There's millions of counterfeits, but show me what the real thing looks like, and then I'll know a counterfeit when I see it. And that's kind of how it works here. I'm not going to be counterfeit, but don't tell them the truth. Hey, look, no. I actually had to tell one recently, you need to take a shower. I mean, he's 22, right? He didn't grow up like that. He doesn't understand. These are the things that we refuse to do, and talk to these people, talk to these young people, and just say, listen, I need to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. And when we do that, they say, thank you. I didn't know. Oh, man, it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
Wow. You're speaking some words that is going to definitely help a lot of people out with their life. You're talking about the basics. I want to teach you how to love yourself. I want to teach you how to take care of yourself. I want to teach just the basics of hygiene. I want to teach you how you need to not only clean yourself, I'm going to show you exactly some of the things you need to have when you do that process. But at the same time, I want to teach you how to love yourself. I want to teach you how to love a woman. I want to teach you how to love, be a mentor for others who need to know your craft and skills and talents.
Yes.
And all the education that you have learned. I want to teach you how to do that, because being a powerful alpha, it don't start like that. Sometimes you are a wannabe alpha till you're alpha. Sometimes you're in class until you learn. You could be an adult and think you're alpha and you ain't that alpha. Listen, because a real woman, will not be attracted to you if you are not. So
that's true. That's true.
You need some more information how to be an amazing person of value with leadership abilities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So important. My God.
Right. Well, we don't like here. We don't pass a collection plate because I don't want anybody looking at what anybody else is putting in there and getting distracted. So what we do is when people come here to this church, they become a member. The first class I tell them to take is we hold a class called Financial Peace University, and it's part of the the Peace University class process. But I tell them, don't give a dime to this church until you learn what money is supposed to do. You go through our class, and then you can start to give money to the church. This is some of the more unpopular talk that I give that my colleagues are like, you are out of your mind. But I have not had a drop off. People are grateful to hear this thing and know that it's the truth. If I have a nice car, Lekeisha, it's because I bought that bad boy with my money. You feel me now?
Absolutely.
I tell them the truth. I'll be like, no, that don't belong to the church. My house don't belong to the church. I do what I need to do with me and my wife and our money. Now, speaking of alphas, I'm a Sigma man, not Sigma as in fraternity or anything like that, but a Sigma man can look like an alpha, but at any time he wants. He can hang with an alpha at any time he wants. But what his goal is, or who he is he is more understanding of people. He is more attractive to people because he has something that doesn't say, I'm here to take over, like the alpha. He sits back and goes, hey, alpha, you take care. I'm going to mess with the betas and the deltas and all of these other people and talk with them. It's been told to me several times that I'm one of the few people, and this one guy told me, he said, you're one of the few people can walk into a room of 1,000 people and find the one person hurting. And I love that because those are the people who need help. Everybody else, oh, I'm an alpha, I don't need any help. Okay, well, when you're 58, you come talk to me because you're going to need some sooner or later.
Wow, that is a word right there. Listen, Dr. please tell us a little bit more about not only the amazing jewels that you have, but we want to definitely have you back. So please let us know how we can stay in contact with you because we are not finished. This conversation is so good, so good.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait.
Continue next time, but let us know how we can stay connected with you and your ministry and your books. Definitely moving forward.
So anybody who wants to be connected with the ministry at all, it's we have an app on the App Store. You can look it up. It's Expanding Visions Ministries on all app platforms. Also, I have an email at Pastor Lewis EVM. That's Echo Victor Mike for those phonetic alphabet people at gmail.com. Pastor Lewis at EVM. Pastor Lewis EVM at gmail.com. We're located at 845 Claycraft Road, Suite F and G. And that's Gahanna, Ohio, 43230.
Awesome. I'm so excited to talk to Dr. Lewis. He's going to go ahead and let us know how we can stay in contact with him, because he has great value and research and information to give the platform moving forward.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So
Dr.
you can email me at Pastor Lewis EVM. That's Echo Victor Mike for phonetic alphabet people at gmail.com. Pastor Lewis EVM at gmail.com. Also, you can go to any of the app stores and get our app, Expanding Visions Ministries. You pull it down. We've got our podcast. We've got all the other stuff on there. And also, we're at 845 Claycraft Road, Suite F and G in Gahanna, Ohio. Columbus, that's Gahanna, Ohio, 43230. And definitely you can go look at the book, Building a Life, Dreams of a Black Man, Building a Life Between Hard and Impossible, on the larger platforms. You can get that. And also, I have a website at keepyourdreams.com. www is keep, YOR, dreams.com, because the only thing that's missing is you.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. So like I said, Dr. Lewis, we're definitely going to have you back on the Lekeisha Mosley Show. We totally been honored with your gifts.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. You're amazing. I mean, you just are literally have so much within you. We want to make sure everyone else values you and stay connected with you moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Lekeisha.
So absolutely.
Okay.
So this is the Lekeisha Mosley Show. I'm so excited for everyone to stay in and tuned in to have this conversation with me and my special guest. Listen, we're not done. We're going to have him back, but definitely make sure you all stay connected with me and definitely moving forward. This is Lekeisha Mosley. I'm so thankful for all of you. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nina Taylor. This week, the Gospel News remembers the life and the legacy of Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson was an award-winning film, television, and stage actress. Tyson won 3 Emmy Awards and a Tony Award, among other honors over the course of her acting career. She was inducted into the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame in 1977. Cicely Tyson was born in New York City on December 19, 1924, and grew up in Harlem, New York. At the age of 18, she walked away from a typing job and began modeling. Though she had not been permitted to go to plays or movies as a child, when she got her first acting job, her religious mother, feeling that Tyson choosing a sinful path, kicked her out of their home. Tyson grew up in a religious atmosphere. She sang in the choir and attended prayer meetings at the Episcopal Church of East Harlem. Tyson's mother opposed to her becoming an actress and would not speak to her for a long time. She changed her mind when she saw Cicely appear on stage. In 1963, Tyson became the first African-American star of a TV drama in the series East Side, West Side. She went on to be nominated for an Academy Award for 1972's movie Sounder. She also portrayed notable roles on television, including Kunta Kinte's mother in the adaptation of Alex Haley's book Roots. Her role of Miss Jane Pittman earned her 2 Emmy Awards in 1974. Moving to Broadway in 1983, in 1994, the actress won her 3rd Emmy for her supporting role as housemaid Castilia in CBS's miniseries The Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells All. At times, she had trouble simply finding work. She flatly refused to do blaxploitation films or to take parts solely for a paycheck, and was selective about the roles she chose. Most recently, Cicely Tyson appeared in The Help in 2011.